From the Detroit Free Press, I'm Robin Chan with today's Voice Briefing. It's Wednesday, September 11th, 2024.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Eric D. Lawrence. Bill Ford will join an elite club this year when he receives what's described as the, quote, single greatest honor in the automotive industry, end quote. Ford, executive chair of the Ford Motor Company, is among this year's inductees into the Automotive Hall of Fame. And in a first for the organization, founded in 1939, the ceremony will be broadcast live. Big names across the automotive spectrum have been inducted into the Hall of Fame over the years. Bill Ford's great-grandfather, Henry Ford, was part of the class of 1967, and Mary Barra, chair and CEO of General Motors, was inducted in 2023. Bill Ford has spent decades working at the company that bears his family name, and he's made a point of focusing on sustainability in the automotive industry. He's also seen as the, quote, visionary behind the resurrection, end quote, of Detroit's iconic Michigan Central Station, which will be the site of this year's induction and awards ceremony. The event is scheduled for September 19th. Details for viewing are available at the Automotive Hall of Fame's website. 6 other automotive notables will also be inducted this year: Betsy Anker Johnson, Vic Edelbrock Sr., Vic Edelbrock Jr., John James, Vivek Segal, and Wendell Scott Sr.
This is Kylie Martian for the Detroit Free Press. While the rate of severe disease and death caused by COVID-19 is much less compared to the beginning of the coronavirus pandemic in 2020, the virus continues to spread across the globe. Health officials stress the importance of staying updated on COVID vaccines as it becomes more of a seasonal virus, like the flu or RSV, that see higher rates of infection in the winter months. The CDC's Bridge Access Program, which used federal funding to pay for the vaccine for uninsured or underinsured adults, ended last month, but resources are still available in Michigan for such individuals to get the vaccine without spending over $200. 12,000 vaccines will soon be available statewide through the Michigan Adult Vaccine Program at some local health departments and federally qualified health centers to provide free or reduced cost vaccines to adults. While the end of the Bridge Access Program also meant the end of coverage for COVID testing, many sites will continue providing no-cost COVID testing to uninsured or underinsured adults that are symptomatic or have been exposed to COVID. The Michigan Department of Health and Human Services has pop-up no-cost testing sites across the state, often in partnership with local churches or community groups. The MDHHS also offers free at-home COVID tests through some libraries, and starting again in late September, we'll have at-home COVID tests able to be shipped out to Michigan households while supplies last.
From criminal justice reporter Andrea Sahori. While Wayne County officials tout the new criminal justice center that was 6 years in the making as cutting edge and state-of-the-art, union officials and defense attorneys describe last week's opening as riddled with problems. According to union officials and defense attorneys, these issues include days-long lockdowns of inmates in crowded cells because there haven't been enough deputies to cover the larger new complex. Alan Cox, president of the Wayne County Deputy Sheriff's Association, says that's led to incidents of fighting and inmates breaking fire sprinklers and causing flooding in protest. The stress has been so severe that Cox said 2 deputies quit since the move, and a handful of others are considering leaving. Lillian Diallo, president of the Wayne County Criminal Defense Bar Association, said inmates are protesting conditions inside the new facility by refusing to leave holding areas for their court hearings. Just a few days ago, Diallo said an inmate reported having to defecate and urinate in a bag because the plumbing inside the cells were not working. Defense attorneys have reported hours-long waiting times to meet with clients because of a lack of available visiting rooms. And they've reported that the rooms aren't soundproof, meaning confidential conversations can be heard by others, causing possible constitutional violations. The new complex off of I-75 near East Ferry Street houses the county's 2,280-bed jail, juvenile detention facility, and the criminal courthouse, plus staff and administrative offices for the sheriff and prosecutor. It's meant to replace the old Wayne County jail facilities that for years have been plagued by reports of deplorable and antiquated conditions. County officials and Dan Gilbert's firm Bedrock brokered a deal in 2018 for the real estate firm to build the Justice Complex. The county abandoned plans to build its own jail, known as the Fail Jail, along Gratiot Avenue downtown in 2013, after costs spiraled. The new complex ended up costing over $670 million, with the county share at $502.8 million and Bedrock's share at $167.9 million. Wayne County Jail and officials had defended the complex in its progress. A general statement from Wayne County Executive Warren Evans reads, quote, "Getting acclimated to a new and complex facility requires time and the continued hard work of all of our employees, and we will make any adjustments necessary to ensure the safety and well-being of those who work and populate the Criminal Justice Center." End quote. For more on this story, you can search on Freep.com for Andrea Sahori's article, Wayne County's New Jail Faces Chaos, Lawyers Say. Floods, Fighting, Staffing Troubles. Find more from the Detroit Free Press on Freep.com. That's FREEP.com. Thanks for listening, and you'll hear more from us tomorrow.